Like I'm egg, watch me go against the grain. Persecuted for my Savior's name. Everybody says they for the body until somebody tells them prove it, man. Y'all should say this, you gon' feed my sheep? Of your pie, will you give a piece? I receive peace when I give a piece. 10% of my increase at least. I ain't talking give it to the pastor, cause me, I'm trying to see the life after this one, so I give alms. The charity make this Black Lives Matter. I remove the leaven from my batter, cause wisdom, I'm trying to have her. But the food I give it be that good food, cause I'm trying to bring forth the kingdom fast. I get good fruit, I must spread the fruit. Push it to my seeds, them is my fruit. Cause when I'm gone, whether I was right or wrong, you can tell what I was on, not my fruits. If you like my flow, it's cause you like the book. Cause in my flow, I recite the book. I take no credit, I praise it to the Father. It's forgery, just go take a look. Cause what I say is what the opposite. I just say it in a modern way. I am nothing but the dirt, he's the creator. I am just the clay, I'm just trying to emulate and show his ways. Exalt his name and give him praise. Look at my face, in this race I'm trying to beat you first and be like that. I'm going A, watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain.
Night, baby.
Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain.
Yeah, I'm not really like my
Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain.
I have a whole bunch of Muslims. I got a few brothers. But I pretty much bang on all the days on all Muslims.
Regardless of the code, hearted all the way you say and lay the hold up. Keep the faith within you with your smoke precious sudden gold. Give you 10% and reap 100-fold. But everybody wanna know. Life fluctuates, a reader of the Bible and the truth of faithful seeker. Temptation, he jihad the dinner fever. Understand how the devil trying to see you. Various trials, temptations, tribulations, all the turn from his mission. Do it, make serving God a mission. Take your soul and then I give it. So don't go with the grain, operating the same as everybody else to your demise. Unfortunately, in the later end, you'll realize decline, all by design. Comfort makes you blind, and that's why you keep the law, cause it'll give you rights. Redeemed the redeemer, and following the crowd impairs your ability to see, then you're a sleeper. Nothing but sleep comes up to a dreamer. We in the awakening needs no Dr. King. I'm in that, he's even to the belief I perceive it.
Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain, I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain.
Oh, you moving up?
Watch me go against the grain. I used to flip that cocoa. If I was this a car, I'd be like those locals. Everybody love my car, even the popo. They pulled me over just to take photos. I used to wanna be a dollar man. Only almighty I knew was the dollar man. But the moment that I went against the grain, the Father gave me a daughter, a Zion man. So on every track, I be giving back. I give them milk instead of Similac. I give them calf if they're needing that. I just give them facts. I used to give them packs. Yeah, I used to be the pack man. Me and the Father made a pact, man. The word is my strap, yeah, I pack, man. The word is my food and I'm packed, man. I see a lot of brothers talk that Bible talk, but see that Bible walk, they ain't with it. If you don't read the law, you can't live the law. On your head, keep the law like the fit. I like my people to a hula hoop. We go round and round until we fall. But the saints go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah. See when you be at the neck of the enemy with scriptures that cut like a razor blade. See me, I'm coming at your head, boy. With precepts I will give for people fade. I'm a child of the way, set apart pathway. Our destination, it ain't the same. To the world, they say do it that way. But like a bald head, I'm going against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. I'm going A. Watch me go against the grain. Watch me go against the grain. it with her. Make you keep the love. You
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host in a biblical sense. For tonight, I am Kayel. In the building, I got my rib, my butter pecan, Miss Artist 28. Yes, and I got my young and Bella song all finished studying up for school tomorrow. And we are solo dolo in the building tonight about to get this word. So, man, as you seen the graphic and you seen the title, it is Shaddai is sovereign over all, right? So, what are we saying? You know, I mean, as always, people say, yeah, God this, God that, and, you know, they give you all of these. They give you all of these cliches, let's call it that, right? They give you all these cliches of God being this and that. But then when you start looking at some of these names of these guys are very specific. It's a God of rain, it's a God of the moon, it's a God of this, it's, you know, name you shouldn't say, but we're going to create a name for that God, but it's going to be another name. I mean, it's crazy. And in the world right now, well, we need to be able to call upon our Creator. In a world right now where you have this crazy guy in the office that's bringing about all of these prophecies. Oh, yeah, he is. Wanting to bring his federal military into 19 cities. Our governor here, Jeff Landry, loves him so much he can't wait to do it. But, you know, you have Illinois kicking back. Their governor did a great press conference on the pushback of this. But understand, this is inevitable. I told you guys here on Hebrew State of Being when it first happened in D.C., I did an entire show with the AI showing you that this was the federalization of the police in D.C. was just the beginning step. And it was to ultimately take over DC. And once you do that, you become a dictator. Not a president, but a dictator when you are now over control of the Pentagon and 180 foreign nation embassies there, along with the International Monetary Fund there. You know, so there's so much in DC other than the people that we are so concerned about. There's a major political move being done, and now he's trying to extend that into the 19 cities so that he can have, you know, total military control as a dictator would want. That's part of being a dictator. Like, what are you guys missing? Man. So in a world that's going down like this, and you're wondering, is there a creator? Is there a most high out there? Because, I mean, it looks like absolute chaos. It looks like things are getting worse and are going to get worse. And yes, they are. But your creator said that they would. Your creator wrote it in the book saying that these things would happen. He even told you how to the extent. He even said it was going to end. He even said what was going to happen when it was over. I mean, he lays the whole thing out. And when I tell you that Trump doesn't have to be a Hebrew, just as Cyrus wasn't, just as Xerxes wasn't, to play out the Most High's will, to do his bidding. His bidding doesn't happen to be love. It's right now destroying of the nations. So you may be saying to yourself, then, how do I cover myself? What do I do in this time? I don't know if it's the government. I know they're crazy. I don't know if it's God, and if there is a God out there that can supersede what man is doing. I mean, all of these questions. So the title of the lesson is Shaddai is sovereign over all, over every nation, over all kings, over all men, over all women, over all children, over all scenarios and situations. I see Alexis is in the building. The Most High is sovereign, but his name is not Most High. It is Shaddai as written in Genesis chapter 1, chapter 17, verse 1 and 2. And written throughout Job, and written throughout in Psalms, written in many different places. You'll find Shaddai written, but they have given you so many other names. Yahweh, which was a moon god that they transliterated through the Tetragrammaton to be Yod-He-Wah-He. Doesn't mean I am that I am, because that's a higher, sure. A higher means I am that I am, not Yod-He-Wah-He. And that was a Greek installment, transliteration. So that can't truly be the origin, since the Most High wrote on the tablets, right? He wrote a language with his finger on the tablets for Moshe. What you thought he wrote? Something that Moshe couldn't understand, something that the people couldn't understand? You think the Most High wrote in Egyptian? The Most High wrote in his language, the language that the 12 tribes spoke. So it's called a Lakushan, is the actual name of the language, of the Paleo-Hebrew language. The written script is called Paleo-Hebrew. And in that, it's Shaddai, it's Ahia, it's written in the scriptures. It's what the priest called upon. It's one of the most ancient names for the Most High. And Shaddai is not transliterated. It is the actual Hebrew word. That means almighty. That would mean sovereign over all things, almighty, over all demigods, men, kings, whatever. If you don't believe, and you are still believing that all that's happening in this world is all of man's hands and man is going to solve it, or your hand is going to save you, then you are really far behind in the class, because we are all understanding that there are many supernatural things that are happening. You got a so-called comet racing here that's supposed to be here in November. I just want you guys to know tonight is just a celebration of who our Creator is, and going back to the most ancient language and transliteration of his name. So you can call upon that in your prayer. And when you are most scared, when you are feeling the heat of this world, because it meant power, and it still does mean power, to call on Shaddai. Now, they wrote his name in 3 letters in Paleo-Hebrew, which was the Aleph, the Limit, and the Hey. That was how they wrote the Most High's name originally. Not 4 letters, but 3. That's why the Greeks came across and created the Tetragrammaton, the 4-letter language, and broke it out into 4 letters, supposedly. But they broke out a different God's name in 4 letters. They broke out Yahweh's name, Yod-He-Wah-He. Yod-He-Wah-He. Jehovah Yahweh is not the Creator's name. We, as a people, have disrespected our Creator in so many centuries, so many eras. We have adopted names from languages to where we are saying the Most High now, because that's what we can say in English in our captivity. Let's go to Job chapter 5. Job chapter 5, verse 11 through 15. Verse 11 reads, "Who raises the lowly up high, so that the dejected are secure in victory? Who raises the lowly high, so that the dejected, the ones that think they can't win, that can't do anything in this world of chaos right now, that we are secure in victory. Verse 12, who thwarts the designs of the crafty so that their hands cannot gain success. I don't care if they're crafty through technology. I don't care if they're crafty through their military designs. I don't care if they're crafty through their many scams that they run. I don't care if they're crafty through their laws that they create. It cannot supersede the sovereignty of your creator. You got to know that, man. And it says, so that their hands cannot gain success. Who traps the clever in their own wiles? The plan of the crafty goes array. By day they encounter, at noon they grope as in the night. But he saves the needy from the sword of their mouth, from the clutches of their strong. So there is hope for the wretched. The mouth of the wrongdoing is stopped. These people are talking a lot of reckless stuff. I see Chantel is in the building. These people are talking a lot of reckless things in this government. We up for this election here, for this mayoral election in New Orleans, and it's all bull. You're not understanding that 19 cities are about to be taken over. It's not just you're bringing in federal police. No, they're taking over the mayor. This is their plan. They're taking over. So when Illinois' governor is giving his press conference and he's there with the mayor, because they both understand that when Trump comes in, they both lose their power, just as it has happened in D.C. As the orange guy continually talks bad about Mayor Bauer of D.C., even though she's doing fantastic, even though the crime rate is down, even though no one has anything to say about her. I believe she's in her second term. Does not matter if she's doing good. Does not matter if the 19 cities are doing good. They are planning to take over. He wants to be a dictator unless the people stand up, and they have a civil war here. Do you hear me? See, our fight is not their fight. We are not part of the Civil War. We were 2/3 of a man, right? We were nothing. We were slaves. Don't act like you're new to me now. Don't act as though I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread now. We have been fighting for our rights. You have had Senate, you've had Congress, you've had lawyers, you've had many people talk about how we don't deserve to be seen as full-class citizens. We don't have racism. We don't have redlining, to deny the absolute reality of our existence. And now you want to come to us to change the tide. You want us to participate in your revelations. No, the Most High has given our people our end times prophecies, and that's Jacob's troubles, where he tells us that the governments that have oppressed us are going to be broken, and we will rise on top of the heap. Not that we're going to break them down. No, the Most High says that he is Shaddai, who is sovereign over all, says that all you're watching is me getting them all hyper to fight against each other and destroy each other. And my children that are reading my scripture, that knows the prophecies for them is to sit back, to refine thyself, to become more than just acquainted with the law, to have the law be a part of you so that you can represent it as this world declines and people are looking for righteousness. You become the standard. You become the stick. You become the chosen of the Most High. Oh, yeah. You may have the blood. You may have gone through the oppression. But until you're the anointed and speaking his word, messianic, and know his law and live by his law, live by the way, you just got the blood. You just got the oppression. I'm compelling you tonight to get your royalty, to get your glory. As it says here, the Most High has that for us. Shaddai has that for us. Let's go to Psalms chapter 2, second Psalms. I'm not going to hold y'all too late tonight because this is clear. It's not really something that's has to truly be explained over and over again if it wasn't for the social engineering and the lies that we've been given by our capture, which I think personifies the fact that you need to be looking for yourself and reading for yourself. This is the edition that I'm reading from. Right? Unfortunately, I can't find a Paleo to English translation of the Torah, but I'm looking. Right? So, Psalms 2, verse 1 through 4. And it says, "Why do nations assemble and people plot vain things? Kings of the earth take their stand, and regents intrigue together against the Most High and against his anointed. Let us break the cords of their yoke, shake off their ropes from us. He who is enthroned in heaven laughs. The Most High Shaddai mocks them. Then he speaks to them in anger, terrifying them in his rage. But I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. Let me tell you of the decree. The Most High said to me, you are my son, Dawid. I have fathered you this day. Ask it of me." So the Most High and everyone trying to tell, New Testament trying to tell you he got only one begotten son. But right here, he's telling David, you are my son and I have begotten today. Psalms 2, verse 5. He says, then he speaks to them in anger, terrifying in his rage. Verse 6, but I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. Let me tell of the decree. The Most High said to me, Shaddai said to me, you are my son. I have fathered you this day. Ask it of me, and I will make the nations your domain, your estate, the limits of the earth. You can smash them with an iron mace, shatter them like a potter's ware. So now, O king, be prudent, accept discipline. You rulers of the earth, serve the Most High in awe. See, that is not what they're doing. And of course, I went past verse 4, I went all the way to 11. So understand, this is our king, our sovereign, our Shaddai, our Allah. Pronounced A-L-A-H, Allah. They want to put an E in front of it and say it's a soft E, but it's the Aleph is the head, and that's the beginning of his name. Almighty. That's who we need to call on. That's who you need to be reading about. That's who you need to be getting acquainted to his law. Getting acquainted to the Most High's law is getting acquainted with the Most High. It is falling in love with your Creator. Let's go to Daniel chapter 4. Daniel chapter 4, verse 35. And it reads, so now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise, exalt, and glorify the King of heaven, of Shemite, all of whose works are just and whose ways are right, and who is able to humble those who behave arrogantly. King Belshazzar gave a great banquet for his 1,000 nobles, and in the presence of the thousands he drank wine. Under the influence of the wine, Belshazzar ordered the gold and the silver vessels of his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple at Jerusalem to be brought, so that the king and the nobles, his consorts and his concubines could drink from them. The golden vessels that had been taken out of the sanctuary of the house of Shaddai in Jerusalem were then brought, and the king, his nobles, his cohorts, and the concubines drank from them. They drank wine and praised the God of gold and silver, bronze, iron, wood, and stone. So they took the Most High's vessels that had been dedicated unto Shaddai, unto Allah, and brought it out and drank with his whores and his concubines and his cohorts, and gave praise to gods of wood, gold, silver, bronze, and stone. Just then, the fingers of a human hand appeared and wrote on the platter of the wall of the king's palace opposite of the lamps, so that the king could see the hands as it wrote. The king's face darkened, and his thoughts alarmed him, and the joints of his joints were loosened, and his knees knocked together. The king called loudly to his exorcists, Chaldeans, and diviners to be brought. The king addressed the wise men of Babylon: whoever can read these writings, tell me its meaning. Shall be clothed in purple and wear golden chains on his neck, and shall rule as one of the three in the kingdom. Then all the king's wise men came, and none could tell them, but only Daniel could. And Daniel told him that the writing on the wall was from the Most High. And he said, I want to see the part. So yeah, so I'm going to pick it up from right there. So verse 21 of this Daniel chapter 5. He was driven away from men, and his mind made like the beast of his habitation. We're talking about Belshazzar's father, Nebuchadnezzar, was the wild beast. He was fed grass like cattle, and his body was drenched with the dew of heaven, until he came to know the Most High was sovereign over the realm of men, and sets over it whom he wishes. So the writing on the wall was mene, tekel, upharshon, and this is the meaning: God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Tekel, you have been weighed in the balance and found wanting. Perez, your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. So when we talk about the fact of whatever these kings and these presidents and prime ministers and Xi and Putin and all of the boys, oligarchs and all of them, they have nothing over the Most High. The Most High will intervene on your behalf, on his behalf, because all these prophecies have said that these things would happen, that these were going to be fall. These nations were going to fall. The miry clay mixed with the iron. We are the miry clay. The iron is the technology of this age that we're in. The industry. Said that a rock is going to destroy it that was not hewn by man's hands. That means that man is not going to destroy all of these nations. What's going to destroy it is going to be something of the Most High, of Shaddai, Allah. So we got a comet coming. They say it's an alien. They say it's nuclear power. It could be very well that rock that the Most High is talking about. Let's go to Daniel chapter 6. Go to verse 26 and 27. Daniel chapter 6, verse 26. The King Darius wrote to all the peoples and the nations of of every language that inhabit the earth. May your well-being abound. Verse 27, I have hereby given an order that throughout my royal domain, men must tremble in fear before Shaddai of Daniel, for he is the living Shaddai who endures forever. His kingdom is inscribed, is indestructible, and his dominion is to the end of time. Verse 28, he delivers and saves and performs signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. For he delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. Thus, Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and during the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Now, doesn't matter who is in control, is the point of Daniel. The fact that the Most High will cover you and make you great in the land and in the midst of your captors. This is the last one we're going to read tonight, Psalms 50. And I couldn't decide where exactly to start and stop in 50. So we're just going to read all of 50 to end this night. And I pray that you read it for yourself. I pray that you read this Psalms 50 for yourself when you get a little shaky, when you hear these news reports, when you hear about the impending things that they're going to do. Read this Psalms 50. And it says, a psalm of Asaph. Shaddai, the ruler Shaddai, spoke and summoned the world from east to west. From Zion, perfect in beauty, Shaddai appeared. Let Shaddai come and not fail to act. Devouring fire preceded him, and stormed around him fiercely. He summoned the heavens, Shemite, above, and the earth for the trial of his people. This is what the Most High is doing for us, summoning the heavens and the earth for the trials of us. Bring in my devotees who made a covenant with me over sacrifice. Covenant over sacrifice. Then the heavens proclaim his righteousness, for he is Shaddai who judges. Selah. Pay heed, my people, and I will speak, O Yasharallah, and I will arraign you. I am a higher Shaddai, your Shaddai. I censor you not for your sacrifices and your burnt offerings made to me daily. I claim no bull from your estate, no he-goats from your pens. For mine is every animal of the forest, the beast on 1,000 mountains. I know every bird of the mountain. The creatures of the field are subject to me. Were I hungry, I would not tell you, for mine is the world and all it holds. Do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of he-goats? Sacrifice a thank offering to the Most High and pay your vows to the Most High. Call upon me in time of trouble. I will rescue you and you shall honor me. I see David's in the building. And to the wicked, the Most High said, who are you to recite my laws? A mouth that terms of my mouth the terms of my covenant, seeing that you scorn my discipline, meaning that you don't want my discipline, and brush my words aside. When you see a thief, you fall in with him and throw in your lot with the adulterers. You devote your mouth to evil and yoke your tongue to deceit. You are busy maligning your brother, defaming the son of your mother. If I failed to act when you did these things, I would fancy that I was like you. Most I say, you would fancy that I was like you. So that's why we go through the hell that we're going through, because we do dumb stuff. We go against the law, the love of what the Most High says do. We love the wrong people and hate the wrong ones, the ones we should love. It is a common thing in our community. So the Most High is saying in Psalms 50, verse 21, if I failed to act when you did these things, you would fancy that I was like you. So I censor you and I confront you with charges. Mark this, you who are unmindful of Shaddai, lest I tear you apart and no one save you. He who sacrifices a thank offering honors me, and to whom who improves his way, and it says, and to whom who improves his way, I will show the salvation of Shaddai. So the Most High said it's not about sacrifice, it's obedience to the covenant. Your sacrifice is you not doing the evil things that we have all fell in love doing. Growing up, being taught to do, being socially engineered to love. Most High said, that's a sacrifice. I get it, because you're in your captivity. You have been socially engineered. You have been oppressed. You have been lied to at every corner. So yeah, coming back unto me is going to take you sacrificing your flesh. So Most High said, I don't need none of your rams, your bulls. I don't eat none of it. Said, if I was hungry, I would not tell you. Most High says, come back unto his law, know him, obey his law. Exodus chapter 20, and you will see the salvation of Shaddai. Period. No flim-flam, no hocus pocus, no psychology. 10 laws, live by it, and you'll see his salvation. As this world gets crazier and crazier, you need to know the truth. You need to know the name. You need to know the ancient name. You need to know from the transliteration. That's what I've given you. Shaddai or Allah, Aleph, Lemit, Hey, was the original Hebraic way that we refer to the Most High. It wasn't until the Tetragrammaton you got the Yod Hey Wah Hey. It wasn't until you got into following Baal and following these other gods of Ishtar, Ashtar, Moloch, and whatnot that you got all these other names. These are the facts. All praises to the Most High, man. Come back unto the pure tongue of the Most High. All praises. Call upon your Creator. Like I say, don't just not trust me. Go and check me. Go and search and do your own AI. Go and do your own Google search. Grab your own books. Make sure you pay attention to the authors of all of them. With that said, we'll see you guys on Wednesday night for Cultural Appropriation. Me shalom, all praises.